Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about all three forms of linear equations. So standard form is ax plus by equals c. So a few things that we need to know here is that a must be a positive and it must be a whole number. Okay. A has to be positive and A has to be a whole number. And when we're using a word problem, we use this when we are given two different quantities, two different scenarios. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Slope-intercept form, which y'all are comfortable with, is y equals mx plus b. So we are given m, which is slope, and b, which is your y-intercept. Okay? And then point slope form is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Again, m is your slope, and your x1 and your y1 are your ordered pair. Okay, so we're going to practice going from all three forms. And we're going to do that on the next sheet of paper. So we're going to title this Converting Linear Equations. Sorry, y'all. So let's do an example. Let's say that we have the equation y plus 7 equals 4 parentheses x minus 3. Okay. Well, first we need to identify what form this in. The parentheses kind of give it away. So we are starting off in point slope form. So I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to just practice what we've been practicing. So I'm going to distribute that 4. So I have y plus 7 equals 4x minus 12. And then I'm going to subtract 7. I'm going to subtract 7. So I have y equals 4x minus 19. So here's another form. Since it says y equals, this is slope-intercept form. So that's 2 forms down. I need my third form. So to go to my third form, I want to take this equation and I want x and y to be on the same side of the equation. So I'm going to take this 4x and I'm going to move it over here by doing inverse operations. So since that's a positive 4, I'm going to subtract 4. If I do it to one side, I'm going to do it to the other side. I'm going to put it in the front just because standard form has x in the front. Okay? So I have negative 4x, and that's a positive y, equals negative 19. That kind of sort of looks like standard form, but we said that a has to be positive. So this number right here has to be positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire equation, both sides, and I'm going to distribute a negative 1. Because a negative times a negative is going to convert that into a positive. Now that negative is going to change that to negative y. And a negative 19 times a negative 1 is a positive 19. So now I am in standard form. Okay? Alright, let's do another one. So now let's say that we have y equals 4x minus 12. Okay, so since it's in y equals, we are starting in slope-intercept form. It's important for you to want to always start with point slope, but I didn't give you point slope, okay? So since I'm starting in slope-intercept form, I'm going to convert it to standard form. So same thing, I'm going to take that 4, I'm going to move it over there. So I'm going to subtract 4, subtract 4. So I have negative 4x plus y equals negative 12. I have to get rid of that negative, so I'm going to distribute a negative 1. So 4x minus y equals 12. So now I'm in standard form. Since I didn't start off in point slope form, we can't go to point slope form. So we can only stay here and we can only stay here. Okay, we have to have that original because we don't know what the point, we don't know what point they're using. I could say that I have this right here, a -12, so my b is -12. So that's at 0, -12. So I could use that, which would be y plus 12 equals 4 x minus 0. So now I'm in point slope form. But you don't have to because they don't give us a point. Alright, so let's do one more example. Let's say that I'm at 3x plus 4y equals 8. So this is starting off in standard form. Remember I said we almost always want to start off in point slope form. So they didn't give us point slope form, they gave us standard form. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it to slope intercept form and we're going to solve for y. So I'm going to move this to the other side. So I have 4y equals 8 minus 3x, and I want y completely by itself. So I'm going to divide every single thing by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 3 does not divide by 4, so I'm just going to drop that down. I don't like that order, so I'm going to rearrange it. And now I'm in slope intercept form. They didn't give me a point, so I'm not going to try to change it to point slope form. When you do your homework, try to always start in point slope form and then go to slope intercept form and then go to standard form. So you want to go point slope. So you might have to work backwards, and then you want to take it to slope intercept, and then you want to take it to standard. Okay. You will cut and glue if you don't want to cut and glue, you can just simply write down the answers, write the equations and the letters, please. You should use all the equations that are given. If you have any questions, send me an email.